Hey guys, Some Things Fishy here again, coming at you with some new content. We are looking to start a new part of our channel about seahorses. So here's our first video talking about seahorses, and today we're going to be covering some of the best ways that you can feed your seahorses. We're going to be producing lots of videos like what are the best tanks to have seahorses in, what are good fish that you can have in a seahorse tank. So stay tuned to our seahorse playlist as part of our Some Things Fishy channel if you have a lot of interest in these animals, because they are awesome and there are a lot of cool things that you can do with them. So a little bit of background on seahorses. These are awesome animals to have as pets. However, they're more towards the intermediate level. They're not super easy to own and to keep alive. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're wanting to get into the saltwater fish tank hobby, maybe not the best to start out with seahorses. The first thing to keep in mind in terms of feeding your seahorses is that they are extremely slow eaters. This is why you can't just have seahorses in tanks with normal fish like clownfish or damsels or things like that, because those fish are fast eaters. They swim fast, they'll get all the food, and by the time that the seahorses even notice that it's time to feed, it'll be all gone or at the bottom of the tank. We have found that the best way to feed seahorses is to get a turkey baster. I know that sounds funny, but it is really the most efficient way that you can do it. See right here, if you get a turkey baster, you fill it up with food, and you can just basically hand feed these seahorses all the food they need. If you just slowly kind of squeeze that food out in front of them, they'll see it, they'll have time to react. Like I said, they're slow and they need that time. You need to really observe each seahorse in your tank and make sure that they are each getting fed the right amount until they're full and satisfied. If not, one could be taking all the food while the other ones are just starving. Another thing to keep in mind when feeding seahorses is that you should really avoid feeding them at night. These fish, like I've said, are slow and very docile creatures. They sleep and they clonk out hard. So sure, you can get by feeding them at night, but if you feed them during the day when they're the most active, you're gonna have a lot better results. They're gonna eat better, they're gonna feel more satisfied, and they're just gonna be healthier overall. So feed them consistently in the daytime and preferably at the same time during the day every day, so they just kind of know when it's coming and get that classical conditioning going. When feeding your seahorses, what you want to give them is mysis shrimp. That is the biggest and main part of their diet. That's what they need to eat. If you have fish in your seahorse tank, it's good to give them some sort of variety. So we use this marine cuisine. It's got mysis shrimp as well as krill and some other various things. Another really important thing to keep in mind is that seahorses do much better the more frequently they're fed. We have found that feeding them around 2 to 3 times a day is best. That's what keeps them healthy, strong, and alive. In my opinion, seahorses are one of the most visually appealing animals that you can have in a saltwater fish tank. They are the fish that you're going to want to go and feed multiple times a day because they're just so dang fun. The key things to keep in mind are that seahorses need a little bit more pampering than other fish. That's why they're a little bit more on the intermediate side. Remember that using a turkey baster is one of the most efficient ways to get each one of your seahorses fed. Remember to feed your seahorses mysis shrimp. And if you have other types of fish in your tank, make sure that they're slow eaters and they're not competitive. Also keep in mind that it's best to feed your seahorses during the daytime and consistently. Remember to feed them up to 2 to 3 to maybe even 4 times a day, because that's what's going to make them do better. Thanks again for watching, guys. This is Landon from Some Things Fishy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below.